What's reshaping New York City, Arizona, and Texas? There is a simple answer. In this video, we'll be talking about the growth of Texas and Arizona and why are New Yorkers migrating? Why is there a population boom in Arizona and Texas? So stick with us until the end and we'll tell you exactly what's going on with New York, Arizona, and Texas. But before we begin, if you're new to the channel and like insightful content like this, please do consider subscribing and punching the notification bell to not miss any updates. New York is the richest city in the world with a total wealth of $2.7 trillion, 113 billionaires, and 25,000 people with a very high net worth. But New York City saw a mass migration during the heights of the COVID-19 pandemic. Reports say that 93,000 people left the city, and while it might not be a big number as compared to their population of 8.3 million, but this also meant that $34 billion in revenue is gone with them. Now New York runs mostly on tourism. About 40% of their revenue comes from the industry, and it supports 400,000 jobs and has generated $70 billion in 2019 alone. But the pandemic meant that tourism would not operate at all, sending the charts to sink downwards. On the other hand, public panic began to grow as shootings and murders started to be more frequent. During the pandemic, 1 in every 3 New Yorkers were without a job, and on top of this, the city showed a deficit of $30 billion, whereas the federal government only sanctioned $24 billion and the city gained the title of having the highest tax rate in the country. New York is ranked the 3rd most expensive state to live in, and most of the population there are from other places. Furthermore, in 2020, 662,000 people lost their jobs, and 40% of the population declared bankruptcy. The revenue came crashing down and the expenses kept on rising. The taxes were raised to 2% from 8.82 to 10.86% to be exact. Raising taxes when the public is not earning enough is wrong in a lot of ways, economically, politically, and morally. And so most of the people migrate to some other cities or back to their native places. But there are people who benefited from the pandemic and the public blame it on the policy as the wealthy people leave high-tax cities at any cost. So they relocate when that happens, and this causes a deficit, and the burden falls on the others. Now, as people migrated, the properties were vacant, and this cost New York $15.6 billion in property tax collection. Statistics say that it will remain the same for a couple of years. As people are working from home more often, people have chosen to go back to their native places or a low-tax city as they work for companies in New York, lowering their revenue. Arizona. In 1854, Arizona opened up major copper mines, and it was the primary industry for over a century. The city didn't have a population boom until the Second World War, but after air conditioning was made widely available, there has been growing ever since, with a vast stretch of suburbs and agriculture. Arizona was in pretty bad shape during the recession in 2007 to 10, where Arizonians lost jobs and things were pretty bad. But then the Arizona Commerce Authority was formed to attract new high-paying jobs. Now Arizona is huge at car test sites, and companies like Toyota, Ford, Chrysler test run their cars on the Arizonian ground. People say that Arizona is becoming the new hub for technology and manufacturing, and that it is becoming the epicenter of electric vehicles and self-driving technology. There has been a surge in semiconductor manufacturing as the supply chains become tighter. Now Intel has invested $20 billion in 2 new factories, and Apple supplier TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, will inaugurate a $12 million chip factory in Phoenix, Arizona. And then Tesla's rival Lucid Motors is building a new electric vehicle building along with other electric car manufacturers like Nikola and Electromechanica. In addition, Waymo's fully driverless car are now available for rides in Arizona only. Statistics show that Phoenix has attracted more residents than any other US city for the 4th consecutive year. In a span of 5 years, that's 2015 to 2020, 634 companies relocated to Arizona, creating 13,000 jobs and vacancies. Apple is planning to open a $2 billion global command center in Phoenix, and ever since they have expanded to Arizona, and with that, other companies are tagging along as well. Major companies like Apple, Caterpillar, Infosys, Benchmark Electronics, Insights, Cognizant, Zoom, etc. are relocating as well. This made the Arizonians add 3 more C to their 5C, referring to copper, cattle, climate, citrus, cotton, chips, cars, and construction. Now this promises that Arizona will have more job opportunities, and here are some of the benefits that entice people to move to Arizona. People from California are relocating to Arizona as they provide foreign trade zones, quality job tax credits, Even though the locals say that there has been an increase in population and traffic, everyone wants to move to Arizona with a low cost of living and a high-paying job. There are people who work for a company in San Francisco but live in Arizona as they work from home. Texas. Texas is the second largest state after Alaska, and there's a lot of vacant land, which means that the rent and rates will be cheaper than other states. Tesla's Gigafactory in Austin, Texas, where they are currently building and assembling the Cybertruck. Apple is building its second largest campus in Texas. Oracle is moving its headquarters from Silicon Valley to Texas. Governor Abbott talked about TikTok headquarters to be built in Austin, Texas. Hewlett-Packard moving to Texas. Charles Schwab relocating to Denton County, Texas. Elon Musk is expanding SpaceX in South Texas. Boring Company will open in Texas. Now, why is everyone relocating to Texas? Well, this is the same reason why the wealthy people from New York are leaving New York City. Texas has no income tax, business-friendly regulations, and that is attractive for wealthy giants like Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, Drew Houston, Joe Lonsdale. Now, Dallas is a financial capital of the country, and it has the 9th largest economy in the world. Texas has been the top oil and natural gas exporter for the country. Now, that's not all. Texas has over 50 Fortune 500 companies, 1,600 foreign-owned companies, 2.7 million small businesses, and a 14 million civilian workforce. They also have a good education system that is deemed world-class, like universities such as Texas University, University of Houston, and Texas A&M are producing talented individuals for the companies run by visionaries. This attracts a lot of giants, and the giants bring good job opportunities. Well, Elon Musk moved his personal home from Los Angeles to Austin, Texas. Texas now has a $90 billion railway project that reaches Houston from Dallas in 90 minutes. This goes to show that most of the companies in California are relocating to Texas, and why not? Only the tax rate is enough to convince them. Now, New York might look grim right now, but it is the city of miracles, and as soon as COVID clouds go for good, NYC will be back on top again. A New Yorker in an interview suggested that the government should initiate public place renovation, as this would empower people with jobs and help them with their revenue. The taxes were never an issue even before the pandemic. New York ranked the highest in tax rates, and I'm sure things will go back on track. Arizona and Texas will grow as job opportunities will create more revenue, and this is good news for the US. I think it's safe to say that Texas and Arizona will rank highest on the US state revenue charts. With a prospect like that, we can be assured that America will be great again. So this will be it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. We would love to hear your thoughts. Make sure to comment below, and if you liked it, then please do give a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.